Hello viewers, you're welcome to yet another exciting episode on the Youth Arena. The Youth Arena is a program where we discuss a lot of things that benefit the young person, and today we'll be discussing a very important subject titled employability skills. A lot of things plague the Nigerian society particularly, and one of them is the subject of unemployment. But even beyond unemployment is people not being employable. So we're going to be discussing a number of those skills that we feel from research and from experience are beneficial to the young person who is in search of employment. With me to discuss that today is a very important person, the founder of AIR. AIR stands for Hard Work, Equality, Intelligence, and Respect. It's a platform that supports young women in their career journeys, and we have the founder here with us. She's no other person but Mrs. Anwule Ola Olani. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back once again on the studio.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You so
You're
much.
welcome. The last time we spoke, you had a program, the boot camp that came up side by side with the International Women's Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what have you been up to since then?
Oh, well, with the boot camp, you know, I organized a platform where young women from any diverse, you know, walk of life can just come, and I can teach them how to write their CVs. I had something I call a CV clinic, where we go through their CVs. But most importantly, I wanted them to understand what these employability skills really stand for. You know, we spoke about what they are, how you already have them, and how you can develop in them. Why employers actually need people to, you know, have such skills. And really because, you know, I'm here to really support them in their journey. So I believe that was a wonderful session. We're privileged to have you talk to us about leadership, leadership skills as well for the women, because, you know, you and I, you know, we understand and we know that more than anything, women really need to rise up to that challenge. So basically it was more about me, you know, sharing with them, because we don't want anybody to be saying, oh, you're a woman, so take this. We wanted to say that to people, to say that you have this quality, yes, you have this experience, and you earn this position, so take it. It was a wonderful day.
That's wonderful. I've been following you on Instagram, and I've seen a lot of programs, outreaches, secondary schools, orphanages, and all. Maybe. Yes.
I've done more, because, you know, I just feel like there's still more to give. I don't think I've even scratched what I'm supposed to do at all. So I've gone on to speak to young ones in schools. I've gone on to, the orphanage visit was organized, but because last time I said I was in a book club. I am still in a book club of 40 gorgeous women. And one of the things we partook in was to also go to an orphanage, select an orphanage and go there and read to them, because we're a group that reads. So Children's Day, you know, I took my daughter as well, because I also wanted to, you know, instill into her the values of giving and sharing with other people. And I know she's just 4, but
the impression is being made on her.
It's already made on her, yeah. So we got there, we read to the children, we sang nursery rhymes to them, we pretty much played with them, we shared our day with them, and you know, that's actually a fulfilling thing for us to do. I write articles, I still write articles, I share on LinkedIn about job opportunity, career development mainly. You know, I privately tutor young people who need my help in, you know, when they're going for an interview, they want advice, they want this tweak, I do that for them. So yeah, my life has been busy, not as busy as I would love it to be.
Okay. But at least you're on the path to get into where you want to be.
Absolutely, yes.
That's wonderful. Okay, so today we'll be discussing something very important. I've heard you speak on that, so I know you can grant us sufficient insight into this. All right?
Thank you.
Okay, so why do you think employers actually look out for what we call employability skills? We'll still get to what they are, and also why do you think employers look out for that?
Well, employers don't want people who will come and waste their time. An employer already has a vision cast, has a mission, and they want to make profit, most of them. They want to make profit in terms of monetary or impacting lives. So when employers say they want employability skills, they want the kind of skills that when you come on board with them, you're actually able to deliver what has been asked for you to deliver. It makes the job easier for everybody anyway, if it is that, you know, you have the skills. So employers will want somebody who can depend on the job description, do what it is. They don't want to waste. Recruitment and selection is time and money. So when you say you have those skills, come on board and do those skills. And it makes, you know, the employer feel comfortable that they've made the right choice and they have, if you like, a team of people or a partner who is able to move the vision from one place to another. And I don't think it's just the employers that have benefits, I think the employees to also have benefits, because whatever skills you come on board with, there's always room for improvement. You improve on those skills.
First of all, is yours.
Absolutely.
And
you can improve and even learn more on the job skills for yourself. So if I wear my employer hat, I want somebody who is able to come in and do this job with me and grow this business or this dream or this vision with me, and also personally develop with me so that we can meet that goal that we both, that I have said I want to meet, and also meet the goals that you also want to meet. Because employability skills is not just about you coming to do my work. It's also about you identifying the skills that you as an individual wants to grow and be better and improve on. So for me, I always look at it as both ways, really. So that's really why employers need people who have the employability skills. Nobody has time to waste. Time is money.
Seriously, time is money. Okay, so the idea of the skills will both benefit the employer and the employee, and of course the employee can, it's not just about his employer, it can, some of these things can be applied in our everyday life.
Absolutely.
Then make our lives easier.
Absolutely.
Networking and all of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's dive right into these skills, because I believe we have a lot of them.
Oh yes,
okay?
we do. We
so
do.
let's talk about them. Let's start. What do you think are the skills that our young persons need that we can call employability skills?
Okay, so I have a manual that I actually had to write on this while trying to get a good grasp, I would say, of the basic needs. I think as, you know, permit me to say, as we go along in this innovative world, skills will keep changing and increasing. I say that because over 2 decades ago, we never really had something called digital skills or new media skills, you know, but now it's here, you know, and we're trying to say, what is this?
Even on top of the food chain.
Exactly. So I try to make a simple, itemize about 11 to 13 of them, which I've put in a manual, which, you know, if you permit, the viewers can, you know, access it free of charge from maybe young viewers. Can access
That's an advantage.
That's an advantage of watching this program. Whoever watches this who is young is entitled to a free employability skills manual from me. Yay. So top on my list would be communication skills.
Okay.
And not just communication in the sense that you just want to talk. Communication in the sense that you have to know how to verbalize yourself, like you and I are having a conversation now. I am speaking, you're understanding what I'm saying. You will speak and I will understand what you're saying. It does not include mixing of accents where somebody is confused, whether you are Indian, American, Igbo, and, you know, up and down. It's ability for me to speak clearly, be understood, articulate my point clearly, and then me being able to, you know, listen to you as well, understand what you're saying, you know, and implement whatever it is that you're saying. Communication is also in written, because some can speak, but they cannot write. Writing on paper, you need to know how to do that. Being able to, you know, I always say something when I do this communication skills class, is that a lot of our young people are doing themselves a disservice by, when you're trying to write a text message, you're trying to write chat, you are using short forms like HAVE is have. You put AV as have. You know, I don't know. You put DNT. When
KNW.
I don't. So people just, I don't know. Why would you want to do that? You know, it's not smart. It's actually breaking down your ability to be able to communicate your written English. Is making it worse for you, because habits are formed over time. Imagine getting a job easy and you are typing a letter, and you are typing a memo, or you are typing a minute from a meeting, and you use short forms all over.
Some of them even communicate with their bosses unconsciously anyway with those short forms.
It's horrible. So communication is important to me because that is how you and I will be able to get from one point to the other. What I say, what you say is important. Communication skills is an employability skill that it ranks at least the top 5 on my list that young people should have. And there are different ways that we can achieve that, you know. And then from that, I will speak about people skills, because it's good enough for you to know how to communicate and talk to people. But being relatable is an important thing. There's a quote that says there's no I in team. So if you spell the word team, it is T-E-A-M. There's no I in team. Although some young people in Nigeria might decide to short form it up, not the ones watching this show. So that means that you need people to get to a particular place. You need people to get a vision accomplished or to implement something. If you don't have people skills in terms of being able to relate to people, understand people's background, understand people's perspective as they understand yours, it will be difficult for you to thrive in an environment. When a vision is cast, when a task is given, when the project is supposed to be executed, you're not going to do that alone. You need a team of people around you. So that's it for people-centered skills. Time management skills is another big thing on my list, and you know where we live, this country, beautiful country that we live, it is not cool to say African time. There's just one time, and that's just the time. Being on time is a great thing. And you know, I find that time management skills is something that some of us lacks on, and again, habits are built over time. You get to work late, you get to church late, you get to mosque, you get to different places that you want to be late because you haven't been able to prioritize yourself and ensure that you make the timing that you want to do something is executed in time. Time management skills is another big thing for me, because when you start a job at 8 o'clock, you are there, you should be there early, and you have a timeline to execute a particular project. If you're not able to prioritize and organize yourself to meet that objective, it's going to be difficult for the employer to keep you on. There are other skills like negotiation skills. You are in a team, for example. You are supposed to do some work, and everybody has already shared what they want to do. You need to have the ability to be able to plus and minus, give and take in terms of the job criteria that you've been given. Negotiation can also come even with time management skills, in the sense that, let me negotiate with this person. I need to be somewhere by 4 o'clock. Let me do this work and I'll resume work at 6:30.
Let's reach a compromise,
Let's reach a compromise. A lot of young people need to really understand that. I have IT skills as well. You see, MS Office package is important to me. Running boot camps so far has given me the understanding that a lot of young ones don't actually type out their CVs themselves, which goes back to the communication and writing skills. I have interviewed a few people, and and they write out a few things on their CV, and I go through your CV. Unfortunately for them, I'm quite meticulous as well, so I go through everything. But when you tell me that I'm an organized person, I have excellent planning skills, and I'm enthusiastic, I'm going to ask you to give me scenarios of how you are. So there's this gentleman that came in, and his was on enthusiasm. He said, and I said, oh, your profile says that you're an enthusiastic person. Oh, that is really awesome. I love enthusiasm. So can you share with me, a situation where you were enthusiastic, or where you showed enthusiasm in your job? He said, is that in my CV?
My God.
I was like, it's okay. Is your name not so and so? He says, yes, ma. So it was as if he was not trying to look to see whether is that my CV. I said, did you write the CV? Oh, actually, no, ma. Somebody typed it for me. I just sent it. So a lot of people are guilty of that. Even if you go in and somebody types it for you, do you realize what is on it?
It's sensible to go through it and own it.
But more than that right now, in terms of MS package, you should be able to sit down and use the computer yourself and type. Because if you want to get 21st century jobs and move on in your employment, those are inevitable skills for you to have.
Even basic, like very basic.
Exactly. Those are so inevitable. Some people cannot open up Word document on a computer. And I'm not even talking about a laptop. I'm talking about a desktop. People cannot open MS Word. People have not even heard of MS Access. People they don't even want to go to something called MS Excel because they feel like it's all about mathematics for MS Excel. So Microsoft package is important for young ones to learn.
Yeah, I know in the course of this discussion, personally, I will be exposed to. You say something about MS Access. Which one is MS Access? I made up my mind I will be exposed. So let me kukuma be learning it on the spot.
See, somebody once said that the greatest room in the whole world is a room for improvement.
Yes, of course.
We all learn all these things,
of course.
When I first started my course in project management a little over a decade ago, I didn't even know, because there's a software for project management, right? MS Projects, Microsoft Projects, where you actually...
That's another new one. All I've been seeing about project management is big textbooks and all of that. So,
they're making it worse by bringing another software. But that's all that software does is actually accumulate your plans, the timelines, the resources you need, puts it in a nice format for you, allows you to be able to, plot a graph called the Gantt chart, print off timelines, update on it, and automatically update the number of days for you. It's a really cool software. But that's part of what I'm saying. But the thing is that, just like you said, the basic thing about accessing computer has to be the young ones need to overcome their fear and access, because the career jobs that you are looking at tomorrow are even advanced. If you want to argue and say, well, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businesswoman, you want to take your business, it's all well and good for that, but you want to take your business to the 21st century and let the world see your business. You're not going to keep packing paper about. You still need to get out there. If you wanted to look for an investor, he will tell you to write a business plan. How are you going to write it? Will you not go and type it?
I think you just gave us a punchline that we'll have to ponder on. You can't keep piling up papers in the 21st century, okay? So we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stopped. It's a learning process, okay? I'm your first student, then the invisible audience, they are the rest of the students. All right, we'll go on a very quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello viewers, you're welcome. It's still the program Youth Arena. We're still discussing employability skills. And we've been talking about a number of skills, communication skills, IT skills, negotiation skills, time management skills, interpersonal skills, as people management skills and all. And it's been eye-opening, okay? It's been eye-opening. We trust you will learn a lot. Okay, we'll continue from where we stopped. Okay, we'll continue from where we stopped. All the skills you've mentioned, we'd like to know, particularly on communication skills, we'd like to know how do you think we can develop our communication skills?
Okay, thank you for that, Izzy.
Thank you.
Earlier we were talking about young ones who want to send text messages and they abbreviate it. Those abbreviations, like we discussed, habits form over a long time. They actually don't help your communication skills. Okay. So I would say, first and foremost, stop abbreviating your text messages. And I was saying that I know that it costs 4 naira for text message, and you want to cram in as much information as possible, but you actually pay a higher price later on when you are affected by such bad behavior in your communication. So stop abbreviating. Write all the sentences in full. And I think another thing I just remembered right now is that I find that like if you tweet a lot, you want to share something, you have a maximum number of characters to share that thing. It has helped me to understand varying ways to put across my point, varying languages to various words or sentences, how to conduct my sentences to bring out what I want to bring out in those short characters. So Twitter has even improved my English language in terms of writing. So for the young ones, when you're texting, you're sending WhatsApp message, try and avoid it.
Abbreviations.
Put everything in its full word. Spell it out correctly, please. And then I talked about reading. Reading increases your vocabulary. Reading exposes you to new words, new ways of writing, new ways of thinking, new ways of articulating things in your mind. It even increases your imagination. You would see words that you haven't seen before. When you see those words, don't just jump and pass.
Serious jump and pass.
And assume what the word is saying. But that's the time for you to go in and look up the word. What does this word mean? Not just the meaning. How can I use this word? Which other contexts or applications can I actually use those words different from what the writer has written? That's reading. So text messages, please, or WhatsApp messages, or Facebook comments, or whatever comment it is. As long as your keyboard and your mind is set to write out something, please write it out in full, and then read. It doesn't matter what you're reading. You increase your vocabulary. You increase the way you articulate sentences when you read. And I also say you should try and listen to other speakers speak. How do they speak? What word are they speaking? How are they using their words and their sentences? You know, there are different ways you can access it. YouTube is still free, thank God, till today. So you have access to listen to different people. At the moment, I'm still, like I said, I'm still developing. The greatest room in the whole world is a room for development. So aside from TED Talks, where there are short presentations that people share different things in life, I listen to commencement speeches in universities when different great academics go in and they're called to either speak to undergrads who are going into university for the first time, or speaking to graduates who have graduated from a university. Commencement speeches, I think they're a thing I also go and listen to, because for a school, in my opinion, to call somebody to deliver a speech, then there must be something about you, isn't it? So I listen to that. And I think for me, the last person's own I listened to in terms of learning how to communicate was actually, the gentleman that did the Black Panther movie. There's a commencement speech that he has given. Wow. So if young ones that are really, enthusiastic and very happy about the movie Black Panther, your hero actually has a commencement speech and he went to university as well. So those are the three easy, simple ways I would say you can quickly learn.
So thank you very much for that communication skills. So we've learned, don't abbreviate, read a lot, listen to people. Okay, I think people could also get books that actually could teach them on how to communicate. I believe there are books like that, right?
Absolutely, there are. There are books on how to write, how to read, how to this, how to that. So, but those books I feel are not, it depends on the kind of mind you have. People learn in different ways. So some people it's very easy for them to pick up a book and read, like me as well. But there are many, many other people. And the reason why I spoke about YouTube is because a lot of our young people like going on social media. So, an illustration of a video on how to do something could also help there's this language class, a tutor who teaches different languages, and everything is recorded offline somewhere. So you log on and you hear them. So there's something about hearing how somebody is saying something. It's also about the pronunciation of words, because a lot of our young people are unable to clearly pronounce words. And there's a way we are supposed to pronounce the words. It's not just about speaking phonetics. Being able to pronounce words in their language is also good communication skills. For example, you're from Igbo or Yoruba or Hausa, and then you want to pronounce a name, like Oluwafemi. Oluwafemi is a Yoruba name. you pronounce it the way it's supposed to be pronounced. That's good communication skills. Oluwa Femi. Olu, yes, like you say it with the dialect and the intonation. That's how you know somebody that has good communication skills. If the person decides to come, well, depending on where the person is from, if you're Nigerian and you're not trying to pronounce Oluwa Femi the proper way, you need to be able to learn how to do it. It's not Oluwa Femi, Olu Femi, or, you know.
We know that.
So pronounce it, and that's why I greatly admire people like when Chimamanda Adichie is giving her speeches or speaking, and she wants to refer to something in Igbo. She does not use phonetics to spoil it. She calls it like it is. She goes out of her way. So that is when your communication skills have really gone far. But that takes me back to when I'm emphasizing on listening. When you listen to how somebody is saying something, you're able to learn how to articulate that word better.
Thank you very much. Okay, now a little on time management.
Yes.
Time management skills. Now, is there something more we should know about time management and how to go about it? When you were talking, you made mention of something, and from what I got that you said, it's not really about managing time. It's about managing ourselves into the time. So maybe you throw a little more light on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I like the way you've actually summarized that, managing yourself into the time. Another key skill I believe that we should talk about as well in relation to this question is organizational and planning skills. Because if you're able to develop those skills, you're able to prioritize properly. And prioritizing also has to do with timing. You know, the timing of things is important. We all have 24 hours and people have succeeded in the same 24 hours that you and I have. So actually saying you don't have time does not make any sense.
Some people think 24 hours is not. That's how we don't.
Exactly. So time management skills is you being able to organize yourself better. The management of time is really all about that. We all have that 24 hours. And unless God decides to recreate, I don't know, God is Alpha and Omega. He has every right to do whatever he needs to do at any point in time. But what we have for now that he has given to us is what we need. That's the timeline that you and I are working with. And that's 24 hours and 7 days. It's not changing anytime soon. Okay. So how about you readjust your mindset and fit into that plan that God has created for you in terms of the time. So prioritize yourself. Don't sleep late at night and assume that when you wake up early in the morning, you will not feel tired and be unproductive at work. Don't say you want to go for an interview. Your interview is at 10 o'clock. You are leaving your house at 9 o'clock and you have not even organized yourself enough to even know where the location of the interview is. So there's a lot to do with us as human beings. I have trained myself over time and still training myself that I get to work early, I get to appointments early, but my place of worship, I stroll in academically because I feel like there's no authority figure really and God understands. No, I'm trying to, again, back to habits. I'm trying to train myself to ensure that if in any appointment that you have, be there on time. I've been privileged, you know, and I give God the praise to grow and study abroad where time is everything, you know, in England. And growing up and living there, I developed that culture. But I'll tell you, moving back to Nigeria has almost watered down that culture for me. I'll be really honest, because we're all trying to improve. We're all really trying to improve. And I found out that sometimes I think about that whole African time thing, you know. And the culture that we live in, unfortunately, influences and enhances such behaviors in us, which is not good at all. So what I would say is, for you as an individual, practice it. And again, if you feel like you're going somewhere, you're heading up, you want to be the CEO of your company, you're not going to do that by coming late. Or not, let's go back to your point, understanding how to manage your time. If there's an event that is not worth your while or that would impact on you getting early for another event, adjust your time.
So could you even delegate it to someone?
Delegate it to someone, which goes back to the people skills. Because if you have people skills as well, you can see like how all employability skills are all interwoven. You're able to negotiate with somebody so that you can leave a particular thing, you know, undone, or do it some other time, or just, it's all about you as an individual. The mindset that we create for ourselves for timing is really important. If something is for 1 hour, put it for 1 hour. In our local churches as well, if your teaching is for 30 minutes, let it be for 30 minutes. You know, I've heard some people say that they are men or women of God will say, oh, when the Holy Spirit just enters you, you can do whatever you want to do. And I'm thinking, okay, I thought God wasn't an author of confusion. Like, you can't just go off track. But if you do, it would be nice to also have people's skills and say, apologize, or, you know, make it known, oh, in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, I'll run up. But you should have actually planned yourself to talk within that within those period, whatever it is that you have to say, Holy Spirit to do the rest later. So it still goes back to us as your organization and planning skills is something that young ones need to develop. Even let me not just be saying young ones, all of us, including me, I'm still developing, because you can only keep getting better. When you have more responsibilities on your table, you are able to just get better. So organize yourself properly. It's very easy. Plan your time and surround yourself with people who understand that. Have people skills, able to negotiate your way. You can see how we're just...
They're just diving in and out of
exactly, skills. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think another important thing people need to learn on time management is to learn how to make, what's it called? To-do lists. Yeah, I do that a lot. Wake up in the morning, pray, and then have yourself write down the things you hope to do that day. Sometimes the things you are unable to think out to do for the day in the morning, sometimes they are distractions. Most times, maybe not all the time, but most times they are distractions, things that will just take the whole of your time. If you stick to what you have to do, at least, even if you have to do other ones, get done with the things you've itemized to do for the day, and other ones can get their times. At least you could look back and say, today was productive. Not because of the side hustles per se, or because you're able to do the things you listed out to do. I think to a great extent it will.
Yes, I'm a fan of to-do list in everything I want to do. Going shopping, I have a list of things I want to buy and all that. And I don't do it every day consistently, because I've gotten to the point where there's some things that I itemize in my mind, and I'm able to do it. I carry around a notebook just to buttress your point about to-do list. It's a good way for people to actually keep things on track as well. I have a notebook I carry all the time, and I write things in my notebook. I think most people do that as well. I list out things that I want to achieve in a day. But it still goes back to the fact that those things need to be prioritized. I need to understand which one is more important than which, because you can make a list of 20 things and you don't know how to organize yourself or plan in such a way that this should come before this, that should come before this one and this one can work together. You know, I could actually achieve this 3, I could actually move this to tomorrow. You know, those kind of things come in from when you learn how to plan and organize yourself and be able to prioritize. So to-do list is excellent, but please move on from writing down the things you want to do to acting on it in such a way that which can be done now, which will suffer the most if I don't do it, which will be beneficial the most if I do it. Now that goes back to employability skills, because employers want that kind of person. To be able, you come into the office environment, you are in a meeting, you write down the things that the employer wants you to do. Employers always want you to do a million and one things. You and I know they want us to, if possible, move the moon and put it where the stars are. You know. Yes, but they also understand that not everything needs to be done at the same time. But you, with your negotiation skills, can even tell them what needs to be done now or what needs to be done later. You understand what I mean? So with that, employers are happy and confident that they have left this to a capable person's hands. You're able to say that, sir, listen, I think we can do this tomorrow because the XYZ is not yet in place. But we can do this now because we need the XYZ to do this tomorrow. And if ABC is done, then we can just shift this to Friday because this is like...
in a small space of time, you're able to convince them. And
because you have that skill. you know. And it permits me to talk about analysis, being able to...
Maybe we'll take that when we come back from the
Okay, all right.
Analytical skills.
Analytical skills,
Okay.
yes.
We'll go on a very quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
On the program this week, our Bible reading is taken from John chapter 15 verse 5, which says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. Whoever abideth in me and I in him, the same.
Welcome back. Trust you've been enjoying yourself. We'll continue from where we stopped. Don't change that channel. There's a lot for you to learn. Let's continue from where we stopped. Our guest was about to delve into something important, analytical skills. Okay, so let's pick up from where we left, man.
So there's a skill I call analysis and investigation skills, which I think we should have. And this, it sounds really big, but it's just simple. Being able to find out things, analyze them in the sense that think about the pros and the cons. Think on it deeply. Ponder on it.
Sounding like FBI work.
you know, it's funny. The great thing, well, one of the reasons why I really like the Bible is because it's practical to me in the sense that there's a part that you read to tell you, Selah,
yeah,
think on these things. So think on it. When you think on something, I mean, you're able to evaluate it. Look at it from the front, the back, top, bottom, analyze it, put it in different scenarios, put it into different contexts, and try and get an understanding for yourself about what this thing means. Is it logical in the sense that does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Why does it make sense? Why doesn't it make sense? You know, and investigation is the same thing. Like just like this is really actually like FBI work, but investigation is a skill that young ones like we already have, because if you've done your research in school, you've done your dissertation in school, you were able to go and do some research to get some information for your work. So that's investigative skill as well. But you need that in a workplace, because if your employer asks you to get an information for him or her, and let me know if that information is essential to move this product forward, you're going to be looking at numbers. When they tell you that something is 20% of 50, What does that mean? Like 20% is different from 100. Is it 100%? No, 20% of this. What does that mean? So that skill is essential, but you need to be able to settle on it. You need to be able to sit down and ponder on it, and it gives your mind a bigger room to be able to operate. It improves your brain cells, and you're able to come out and give an informative, decision on a particular thing. So don't just come and tell me, oh, it is, 20%. It just means that, 20 out of 10 people. Okay, what does that really mean? Can you break it down? 20%, so they take 10% of your tithe and your offering. What does that mean? What does that really mean? If you're earning 100K, what does that really mean to you? People are not thinking about it. They're just on the basis of that first statement. How does it help you? How does it help the next person? And then for me, analysis and investigation for me, how I develop mine is, I find out how can I explain it to somebody else? Will it make sense? I look for one of my friends who can act like a mini guinea pig for me, and I regurgitate what I have said. If they don't understand it, then I haven't started. But the main thing I want us to just understand today is wanting to find out how to do things better and give more information. The last time we were in this studio, it was different. And I came in today, and a beautiful, producer was able to tell me, I have never heard of that before, but I know that I've seen people do it. And she told me, this is how you did this. And do you think she would have done analysis, investigated to be able to get this set to be looking the way it's looking? That's the skill. A lot of our young ones need to do it. And do you know they already have it, Izzy? Because when a boy is trying to toast a girl, they will go and investigate her.
Of course.
When a girl too wants to, when a girl wants to, do you know what I mean? They will go to Facebook, go and be checking all those things. Well, I don't know what they call it. A complicated relationship status. Yeah. They should now be, the girl will now be scanning. The boy will be scanning. Look at the picture. Click the picture. Click the picture in the picture of the picture. Click the comment on the picture. The comment on the picture. Then you know what I mean? And then now starts bombarding questions. I mean, if you're able to do that, why don't you use it in a more positive way for your employability skills to increase? When they tell you that this is what's happening, the budget has come out, the analysis of the current government on unemployment has come out. It says that, 18.8% is of 180 million people are unemployed in our country today. And a lot of that affects youth, and more of that affects young women. What does that mean to you?
To be able to ask the right questions in order to get the right answers.
Exactly. I'm going on from that. How can that be applicable? How can you now make it make sense? Because that's how people make their money. When you are able to analyze and investigate, you find a gap. And you now look for a solution for that gap. And that's where you
paid for bringing up the solution.
Exactly. So that skill, it still develops, it still increases. If you ask me how you can, I love to watch crime movies.
Thank you very much.
I love to
I was waiting for you to learn.
I love legal dramas. That's one of my bets. I love legal dramas.
Have you watched Suits?
Oh yeah, of course. I love. In fact, 7. In fact, I even wrote an article on the wardrobe. Like how to actually dress like the women in suit for young women, that if you really want to have a cool wardrobe to wear to work and still look smart and look presentable. I have an article on that.
Write something on the men. I love suit, but
I have
my talents.
I will have to send you that link, because I also spoke about different, I call it career defining moments in Suits season 7. So I think I will edit it and I'll write career defining moments in Suits, because at different points in time, each of the characters learned that is applicable to anybody that wants to. I even wrote career defining moments in Wonder Woman as a movie. So you can see that I've translated myself in the sense that when I'm watching anything, it needs to be speaking to me. I need to be learning from it. I need to be gaining from it. Do you know why? Time. I've invested almost 2 hours in watching that movie. I have to learn 1 or 2 things. There has to be a takeaway. So, I mean, everybody, gets there.
I think I relate very well, because watching those movies is not just about having fun, or for me, it's not just about recreation. you are picking out some of those tiny details, their dressings, you know. I could pick up how early they come to work. If they are not working from home that day or something, they come early, they dress neatly. You know, when they talk about getting clients, big fishes, so to say, the moves they make, the skills, you know, they put in place and all of that, the extra mile they go in getting information. That's, you know, one thing it taught me is that it taught me how powerful information can be.
Absolutely.
How powerful. And then on the flip side, it also taught me how carefully I should live my life. Because the things you do today that might seem to be nothing could be one big something in times to come.
Yes.
Like, so different. I think it also helped me ask questions, because sometimes you are looking at them and there's an issue on ground. Me, who is watching the movie, is a concluded case. Like, there's no way out. And then they start asking questions. They will go back to like 10 generations back. Absolutely. And then connect it and come.
Absolutely. Like, that's just. I wish that you know, our young ones and us inclusive would spend our time in something. I mean, it's good to have fun. You know, like for example, I watch things that are not necessarily fun, but I've conditioned my mind to learn from it. Cartoons, for example, with my daughter, she enjoys watching cartoon. So because my mind is already programmed to learn, I find something to learn from even the cartoon that she's watching. You know, how to be brave, how not to be greedy, how not to tell lies, how to be a hero. Because sometimes she'll be like, "Oh, mommy, I'm Supergirl," and then when we go shopping, she wants to carry the basket. Okay. And she's dragging. I'm like, is that how Supergirl carries the basket? You know, things like that. But what I'm trying to say is that young ones, try and surround yourself with things that will develop you. Investigative analysis for me even went deeper. I started watching CSI, crime scene investigation, you know, and they have old episodes that you can watch. You know, there's so many programs out there, but I watch what increases me, you know, and I do my best to stay away that things that will not edify me. I do my best to stay away from them because I know where my plan, where I'm going to.
Sometimes I don't watch Nollywood because I feel they drop me down from the things. You know, when you watch movies, they kind of carry you along to a point. At a point, loose ends that you're able to identify are tied up for you. But for African magic.
Yeah, well, but there's
like 30 loose ends.
Well, there's some Nollywood movies that are now good because the production is getting better, which ties back to the fact that these employers have looked at it over time, investigated and analyzed, and decided that, you know what, we need to be doing things that are better, and we need to be speaking to an audience, because there's an audience of intelligent minds like you who want to watch something that makes absolute sense, that there's a takeaway at the end of the day, you know. So when young ones want to be actors or actresses and they have, you know, the wonderful actors and actresses in our country as role models, I'll be like, okay, go and see there's a difference. The way they were acting before, they're not acting like that again. But the key thing is that a lot of them are developing themselves. They're going to acting schools in New York. They're going back to school to get more degrees, you know, or study more courses to improve on themselves. So if you're admiring these wonderful Nollywood actors and you think they're not improving, you are the only one that is not improving yourself, because they are improving, you know. So should we take more?
Yeah, we can. So far, we've talked about communication skills.
Yes.
We've talked about analytical skills. We've chipped in organizing and planning.
Yes.
Then we've also talked about people skills.
People skills, yes.
Personal skills. We've talked about time management skills. We've talked about teamwork skills. Okay, and then negotiation and persuading skills.
Yes.
That's negotiation skills. That's 7 of them now. Let's talk some more.
Let's talk some more. Just there's a lot. Let's just highlight a little bit on teamwork and collaboration, because teamwork is really important. You and I are able to have this amazing show because there's an amazing team of people who are behind the scenes doing the work, but they came together, organized it, had a plan, you know, reached out to you, you reached out to me. As a team, you and I agreed. We were supposed to do this last week, but, you know, I wasn't feeling too well. We're collaborating with each other because our goal and our vision is to make this work. So employers are looking for somebody who can work in a team. Not I, only me, I. you know, going solo. And one of the other things I noticed in working so far, some people like to take all the glory by themselves. Yeah. Employees are guilty of that sometimes, which is not a nice trait at all. You come in, we all do this thing together. The success of this show depends on the producer, depends on the wonderful people who are supporting her, the people who put on the mic, the people, the set, everything. It also has to do with you and I, who were able to avail our time coming and speak intelligently.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yes.
and share something that makes meaning and impact to the people. That's collaborating. She's not going to go away and say, oh, my show did well because I put it together, full stop. She didn't put what is in my head or in your head.
We'll stop coming. She'll come and do it. Let me see how she will do it.
Then, even to go further than that, her amazing skills and talent as a producer is birthed and being implemented because the Anglican Communion, the TV network, was able to create a platform for this to happen. So you can see that we are all collaborating together to get a particular point. And one day, you know, somebody will come and give us an award, and we go and accept our award. She's going to come up with all of us and say, oh, thank you to this person who made this available. She might even go back and say, thank you to my father and mother who told me to read medicine, but I came to read producing.
Even if we are able to follow her to maybe the United States or to wherever to collect the award, she'll recognize us when she gets there. Yes.
So when you're working in a team, it's all of you together. Try not to sabotage each other's work. Employers are looking for somebody that is not a sabotage. Where it is that your team member can actually confide in you. I'm running 5 minutes late. That thing, please help me quickly print it out because the boss is coming. The person can talk to you, and then because you know that at the end of the day, as a team, this is what you want to achieve. Not going to go and be like, hey, okay, I'll help you. Then you just quickly call CEO, this man or woman is, do you know what I mean? It's teamwork. Employers are looking for it. But I'm not trying to say you should hide people when they commit offenses. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that when you have a project to deliver on, you have your team members to work with to deliver on that project. It's a collaborative effort. It's not a single effort. No man is an island. Even Almighty God needed 2 additional people to create the world, didn't he? Right? He said, let us. And when he finished, what did he say? He agreed. We did good. He didn't even just say it was on him. Now he's Alpha and Omega. He could have taken all the credit and the rest wouldn't have said anything. But he's giving us the example already. But why would you want to? So that is something that I will be looking for. Somebody that can work with me. Even if it's a one-man organization, I will be collaborating with my team, even if it's one person. And also for employers as well. They need to be like that. You need to be able to understand what team spirit is. Because going to another skill I believe that we should have is motivation and drive. Self-motivation is different from motivation. Motivation is when somebody comes and, you know, motivation is, yeah. Self-motivation is you yourself, finding that drive and energy in yourself to propel yourself to go on and do something. That's another skill I believe that we need, because I feel like a lot of, you know, maybe because of where we are, there's a lot of discouragement, you know. Depression is prevalent in our country today, even if we don't want to talk about it. There's a lot of, you know, sadness and depression and anxiety going on with our young ones. You know, I don't know if you've heard about the suicide that happened in a school last week. There's the suicide happened, a child, you know, it's horrible. But you need to be able to find the drive in you to do work, because you can come into an office in the morning and you don't feel like working. Either from bad news or from you entered a bus and they didn't give you your change, or you wore a white shirt and somebody drove past you in a puddle, it was stained. A lot of things can happen within the course of your day to demoralize you. Self-motivation is you finding that inner strength to say, okay, I'm here now. Let's face it, I need to do this. I'm finding the humor. A lot of us are so serious, easy. Everything is just harsh. Find a reason to laugh at yourself. And you know, I'm not saying be a jester all the time, but why do you think comedians make a lot of why do you even think comedians make a lot of money? Why do a lot of us pay them to make us laugh?
It's like I will get into that business. I perceive it's getting in a lot of cash. You know?
So you can see that you need to find something to motivate you. So that's where I come from, self-motivation. And then for motives and drive, which is another skill I greatly encourage, is why am I doing this? what is the reason why I'm doing this? Before coming on this show with you the first time and second time is, I had to ask myself, why are you coming on this show? What exactly do you want to achieve? And I was able to clearly clarify that, and it wasn't anything selfish at all. I was happy. And do you know why you need to clarify it? Because you can do this for a really, really long time to come and be happy in yourself that you've impacted somebody, depending on what your motive is. Because if your motive is different and is clashing with your values, you know, and your standards, that's another problem. So young ones need to understand, why am I doing this? You want to be a rap artist. Why do you want to rap?
Most people cannot answer that.
Why do you want to be an actor and actress? You want to wear designer clothes. Really? You know, it has to be more than, because whatever your motive and drive is, I encourage young ones, let it be sustainable over a long time. Let me wake you up in the morning and you are still bursting with energy. Let that be what I see. So employers want somebody that when you come into my organization, you as an employee, do you know you can motivate your employer?
Of course.
Your employer might be having a really long day. Oh my God, we haven't sold anything all day if you're in a sales, you know, organization. And your employer is not feeling happy. You as an employee with that skill, you can just, and people are like, look at this young man or woman working so hard. She's always coming up, or he's always coming up with different ideas. I'm always motivated when I'm around this young person. Employers are human beings like you and I. They go through what we go through every day. Because they've had the opportunity to be able to do something earlier than you and I have, doesn't mean that, you know, they're different from us. They've just had that opportunity at that point in time. So they also need us.
The higher they are, the more chances of getting depressed and all, because things have to be sustained and taken to the next level. And
absolutely. And a lot of employers may not want to say it, but they rely on you, the employee, to get some things done. They rely on you to be there on time. They rely on you to be honest and truthful. They rely on you to be motivated, to be focused on their dreams so that they can achieve as well.
Yeah, success depends on, sometimes they take the feedback of the employees, hook, line and sinker, act on it and get desired results.
Absolutely. So you can see why motivation and your drive is a skill that I have identified is important for young ones to have, and everybody actually. That's
wonderful. Before we round up, we'll be rounding up briefly, or very soon rather. Okay, let's talk about digital skills.
Oh wow.
So, the floor is open for you.
Yes, you know, so we started by identifying what part of the IT skills I suggest that we should all have, which is MS Office packages. Another angle, you know, IT again is a discipline on its own, is an industry on its own, like project management and law and medicine. You know, information technology, information communication technology, as some people fondly call it sometimes, is another discipline as well that people can actually grow in and create professional lives in. But there's also digital skills, which you and I identify that is what's happening everywhere. You know, since digital skills started, there has been a creation of over 13 types of jobs from the influx of digital skills. So you have people who are Instagram specialists, or people who are follower generators, or people are, no, I'm serious, like you hear all this and you're thinking, what? People are, you know,
marketers, social media boosters and all of that.
Yes, so the thing about digital skills is using the social media platforms that has been created and more that are being created, right? Getting yourself equipped in them, using them to either develop yourself, you know, create a business out of it, be entrepreneur, employers of labor, and, you know, sell products, make money, reach the world, impact people, get your information out there in the public. There are varying ways you can use digital skills, you know. But the most important thing is that for me, you just need to know how to handle a computer, because a lot of them can be accessed online. You need to be able to know how to handle your phone. You know, your phone needs to have access to all those kind of things. There are different social media platforms that people use. But those who are running businesses, I've been opportunity to talk to young women who have different businesses. And we're talking about how you can actually put your business online. Because there's still room for development. There are businesses who are yet to be online, and people who are making a lot of money bringing their business online. So digital skills is basically saying, can you market yourself on Instagram? How many people know you? Can you share your view on social media? Can you get to Twitter? Are you using Snapchat? Like me and a wonderful young lady today, I gave her the preliminary of using Snapchat, but I had to confess to her that, my dear, me too, I just learning Snapchat, so don't feel bad at all. And it's my younger sibling that taught me how to, because I just saw her doing stuff. I was like, what are you doing? She said, Snapchat. Don't you have Snapchat? I'm like, what's Snapchat? Oh, is that what Snapchat is? And then you learn it. So, because the reason is because people are accessing information from different varying forms. That's really what it really is. And information can be on a particular platform. You're not going to see it if you don't have access to that platform. So you say something about information being very important. My people perish because of lack of knowledge, lack of information as well. So you want to be able to get to the point where you have access to at least the major areas or avenues where people are now. What are people now doing? People are not packing papers as much before. People are putting things online. And name it, it's vast. So digital skills is something I would encourage a lot of young ones to do. If you're looking for employment, people can tweet a vacancy online. People can share. People have innovative ways right now of even looking for a job. They can record themselves on a video and share that video. People take a picture of their product and share it on Instagram for more people to see, because peddling from door to door might be very difficult. So I really encourage the young ones, go from taking a picture of yourself called selfie and posting on Instagram, and go from there and look for how you can use those digital platforms to enhance yourself, build yourself, sell your products, increase your knowledge and awareness of what's going on around the whole world, and just generally make an impact.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So just to go over the things we've talked about as we close, employability skills. So we're encouraging our audience to go for communication skills.
Yes.
We also encourage them to go for analytical skills.
Yes.
Then we also talked of organizing and planning. We also talked of people skills, interpersonal
skills. Yes.
Yeah, we just finished talking about digital skills.
Yes.
Okay, and we also talked about time management skills. Talked about teamwork and collaboration skills. Talked about self-motivation. Yes. That was a huge one for me. Self-motivation. Then talked about negotiation and persuading skills. I don't know if I missed out on anyone, but
we spoke about motive and drive. Okay, your motive of doing something, yes. Okay. And we briefly mentioned leadership skills, which I know that's something that you totally enjoy doing, yes, which encompasses a lot of all the skills. And flexibility also comes in with time management and priority and organization and planning skills. And the last thing for me so far from summary just is professionalism. You need to try and be professional in everything that you do. Being loud or lousy or lackadaisical for me doesn't work. If you're coming into an employment, professionalism is how you work, how you address yourself, how you conduct yourself in a work environment, the kind of languages you use in a work environment, the kind of association that you keep, the kind of your method of doing things all boils down into professionalism.
Thank you very much. It's been wonderful learning from you on
Thank you
this
so
platform.
much. Thank you so much.
And to our viewers, we trust you've been greatly educated and blessed. I remain your host, Casey Eze. This remains your favorite program, Youth Arena. Till we'll come your way next time. Stay blessed.